Hey, Chris Lipe here. A lot of people complain about their voice sounding thin or not liking their tone, but they aren't quite sure what to do about it. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you with a neat studio tool why your voice might sound thin and help you using this visual to understand what to do about this thin problem, what to do with your voice. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click the link below and join my free voice course so that I can work more closely with you and your voice to get the kinds of sounds that you're wanting to get. So this bottom color-filled thing is a spectral display. And when you're talking, it pretty much just looks like that. But you can see down here the fundamental. So if I sing, right over here, if I sing that note, go ahead and stop this here and we'll look at it. This lowest note is the fundamental note. And then all of these tinier squiggly things are the overtones in my voice. I'm going to do some things with my voice, and you're going to notice that the things that I do visually create different overtones. You can see it happen, but also audibly, you can definitely hear the difference. So what you're going to notice by watching and listening to my voice and what you're going to be able to start observing in your own voice just by drawing the two together from what I do is that having an understanding of being able to bring out the overtones in your voice in different ways makes your voice sound more rich, less thin, and a lot more interesting, especially if you can do it dynamically. Do you need a spectral analysis tool to do it? No, but it's really fun to see what it does and compare that to what you're hearing. Again, this is Adobe Audition, and it's a spectral display. There are other softwares that do it. I believe there's even phone apps that will do this to a certain extent. So, here we go. I'm starting with an open throat. That was maybe a bit swallowed, but it was open. You can see very, very strong concentration of the fundamental tone. The overtones, there's some. There's a little bit right here. It's neat to kind of see the vibrato happening, that shaking right there. Watch what happens, though, when I bring my singing forward. I'm baring more teeth. Same exact vowel. It's being modified just a little bit. Look at the amazing differences, though. When I bring my sound forward, when I intentionally place the sound closer to the front of my mouth and I feel the resonance in my face, which you just heard me do, the overtones are brought out. We're literally hearing more sound come out. Even though I'm not pushing more, even though I'm not any louder, you can see in this up here, when I started doing the overtones and bringing the sound more forward, it didn't get louder. The overtones are brought out and the fundamental tone isn't diminished. So you are literally creating more sound for that mic to get into. I also noticed this interesting gap here. Okay, let's do a few other things. I'll talk about the gap here in a little bit. Very, very interesting. Nice open throat O vowel. When I go into head voice and I've got good closure, very, very strong fundamental tone here. And some strong first overtones, but these upper overtones that are causing that sheen and that warmth aren't there. When I created a bit of rasp right here, you could see all these other upper overtones come into play. Again, you're adding sound. I've talked about this a lot on the channel, where it's always good to add rasp and think about compression and grit and those sorts of sounds as being added to the voice. And when doing that right, you see that it is in fact added. Pretty neat. So in this example, I'm going to simultaneously bring out the overtones by bringing the sound forward and leaving my voice open, leaving my larynx dropped, experimenting with different vowels, and getting the most resonance out of my notes. You're going to see me kind of go in and out. Watch as I do this. I'm going to add compression. I'm going to add grit. I'm going to go to my head voice. Adding fry on top of the head voice. Take note of where you're placing those notes. Are you swallowing your notes? Oh, are you bringing it forward? I've talked a lot on this channel about being a forward singer, and the video that you'll be linked to at the end of this video will talk a lot more about that. But what you're witnessing in terms of the sound transformation and the impact that it has on overtones, when I add compression, when I change dynamics, when I change registers, there's lots of different implications that you don't necessarily pick up on when you're just listening. My suggestion is to re-watch some of the samples that I've just done and try to do similar things with your own voice. If you have the ability to do a spectral analysis of your voice, it's super helpful to see. But if you don't, and you're listening to what I'm doing and doing similar things, you can expect a similar outpouring, a similar result happening outside of your body. The sound that we can't experience with our voices is the sound that comes out of our body. We can only experience what we feel in our body as we're singing. That's why this kind of observation is so neat. So, you think you sound thin? Work with intentionally improving your overtones. And working with a spectral analysis tool is a great way to become more attentive to that in your own voice. Again, if you'd like more help with your singing, click that link below and join my free course. We'll see you for more.